Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Audrey's reading area. Alexa, what time is Audrey's reading area?
Audrey reads in her area live at 5 o'clock p.m.
Well, all right, all right, all right. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me here at Audrey's reading area. I was a little late today. I'm going to say a shout out to my nephew, Justin, who called me today, and I could not miss that call. Shout out to you, Justin, and Stephanie, and my baby cousin. Yes, thank you, thank you. She was born the day before my daughter's birthday, August 22nd. Yes, so shout out to her. I don't know if they want me to say her name, but shout out to Justin, Stephanie, and my baby cousin. So if they give me permission, I'll say her name next time. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for that phone call. It meant a lot to me. Now today is Tuesday, right? What are we doing Tuesdays, you guys? Educational Tuesdays. This is going to be a fun, exciting, and very educational and very interesting book that I'll be reading to you today. I actually read certain parts of this book already, and I'm going to read certain parts of it today. It's a huge book, very long. Got a lot of information, so I had to split it up. First, click that like button, hit that share button, then go on over to YouTube and smack that subscribe button for me. Punch that subscribe button for me. Hammer, says my cousin Bash. Hammer that subscribe button for me. All right, this reading will be taken from this book right here. It's so amazing. A book about eggs, sperm, birth, babies, and families. I will be reading to you A Warm and Cozy Womb, Pregnancy. I'll be reading to you today about pregnancy. That's why I have my twins here and my pregnant Barbie doll. Yes, she is pregnant. And yes, I'm going to show you her stomach. She is pregnant. And I'll show you later after the book how the stomach comes off. It's magnetic. And it actually comes off. This was my daughter's when she was young. Pregnant Barbie. Yes, she had pregnant Barbie. Just couldn't find the baby that fits in there. There was a baby that fit in there. So I have little, yeah, I don't know. You can name him. You guys can give him a name. What does he look like? What does it look like? A little Harold? What does he look like? Little Steve? What does he look like? Little Zachary. I call him little Zachary. Or maybe I'll call him little Justin after my nephew. Justin it is. He looks like a little Justin. So I'm going to name him Justin. Shout out to you, Justin. And Stephanie. Okay. Warm and cozy womb. Look at that. So, it's very interesting. Pregnancy. It's so amazing that a tiny ball of cells can grow into a whole new person. It really is amazing. A baby. But it can. Once the ball of cells arrives inside the uterus, it plants itself in the soft lining of the uterus. See these pictures here? It plants itself. All nice and cozy. A woman is pregnant once the ball of cells start to grow in the lining of her uterus. Now, the ball of cells is called an embryo. By 3 months, an embryo is called a fetus. It is called a fetus until it is ready to be born. As a fetus grows bigger, the uterus gets bigger and stretches wide. Like a balloon. Yes, like a balloon. To make more room. When a woman is pregnant, her uterus stretches from the size of a small pear to about the size of a watermelon. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. After 8 or 9 months of growing, the fetus moves around less because there's less room inside the uterus. After the baby is born, its mother's uterus shrinks back to its regular shape and size. On the low, I'm still waiting for mine to shrink back to its regular size. I'm just saying, trying to lose this baby fat. And my daughter will be 30 in August. Pregnancy is the time it takes for an embryo to become a fetus and for a fetus to be born. Y'all know I was joking. My mind shrunk back. Then it's a baby. A lot of kids and even some grown-ups think that a fetus grows in its mother's stomach. And you know it does not, because that's where the food goes, in the stomach. Wow, a fetus does not grow in the stomach. A fetus grows in the uterus, which is under the stomach. Some people call the fetus a growing baby. So look, this is the stomach where when you eat, the food goes. This is the uterus Under the stomach, where the baby's house is, the baby's first home, the uterus. Where does the food go? The food goes into the food, like I said, the food goes into the stomach. Inside the stomach, chemical juices break down the foods we eat and the liquids we drink and change them into very, very tiny bits. Where does the fetus grow? A fetus grows in the uterus, a special, soft, warm, cozy, and safe place inside its mother's body below her belly button. The uterus is also called the womb. Look at that. Interesting stuff, isn't it? But you didn't know that. Some of you may have known that. Baby grows in the uterus, not the stomach, below the stomach. There are times when a pregnancy ends without warning. Before an embryo or fetus is big enough and healthy enough to live outside the uterus, when this happens, it's called a miscarriage. Most women who have had a miscarriage can become pregnant again and give birth to a strong and healthy baby. And there are times when a woman becomes pregnant and then chooses not to stay pregnant. She may then choose to have an abortion. An abortion is a medical way to end a pregnancy. Most women who have had an abortion can become pregnant again and give birth to a strong and healthy baby. And there are times when a woman who is pregnant chooses not to bring up her baby. She may choose to stay pregnant and make a plan for her baby to be adopted. And when her baby is born, the baby can be adopted by a family who can love, care for, and bring up that baby. How long until it's a baby? Pregnancy takes a human cell about 9 months to grow into a baby. That's about as long as a school year. Wow. It takes a mouse cell about 3 weeks. It takes an armadillo cell about 3 months. It takes a cat cell about 2 months. It takes a dog cell about 3 months. It takes a cow cell about 9 months. Isn't that interesting? It takes a cow cell about 9 months. It takes an elephant cell about 2 years. I cannot imagine being pregnant for 2 years. Oh, child. It takes a gorilla cell about 9 months. It takes a horse cell about 11 months. It takes a rabbit cell about 3 weeks. Wow. That would be nice, right? It says here it takes a bee cell just 3 weeks to become a baby bee. 3 weeks. And a bird cell anywhere from 10 to 74 days to become a baby bird. And with the size of your bird brain, I'd say it took 10 days for you to grow into a baby bird. He's being funny. You're not calling me a bird brain, are you? They're funny. So let's see what else it says. Look how interesting this is. This is what the baby looks like inside. Ball of cells to baby, 9 months of growing, which felt like 9 years for me. Okay. Wow. The ball of cells is really tiny. Look at the ball of cells. You can't even see that little tiny dot. And then it goes to 1 month. Look at that. It goes through all these different stages. Look at that. And then to this. And then to this big baby here. It's amazing when I had my daughter. Amazing to see like a human, like a human baby. A human just like come out of me. It was amazing. Pregnancy begins when the ball of cell plants itself in the lining of the uterus and becomes an embryo. By now it has about 100 cells and is about the size of a pinpoint, the size of a pin. By 1 month, an embryo is about the size of a tomato seed. Its backbone has begun to grow and its heart has begun to beat. By 1.5 months, an embryo is about the size of a blueberry. The very beginnings of its arms, legs, fingers, toes, ears, eyes, nose, and lips have begun to form. By 2 months, an embryo is about the size of a peach pit. By now, its fingers, toes, ears, eyes, nose, and lips show, and its eyelids have begun to form. That's 2 months of pregnancy. By 2 months. Can you imagine? Look. 2 months. This is 3 months. By 3 months, when an embryo has become a fetus, it is about the size of a large peach. The parts that make a fetus male or female have formed. Fingernails and toenails have begun to grow. A fetus's body begins to be covered by soft, fuzzy hair called lanugo and a slippery, whitish coating called vernix. The hair and coating protect the fetus from the water that it floats in. Did you guys know that? Interesting stuff, right? By 9 months, most fetuses, but not all, are facing head down. And by now, a fetus has grown bigger, longer, and fatter and has millions and millions and millions of cells. Its brain, heart, lungs, stomach, and other parts of its body are all working well. It is about the size of a watermelon. Woo, child, yeah. Imagine walking around with a watermelon inside you and not your belly, inside your uterus. Yes, it's about the size of a watermelon, weighing 5 to 11 pounds. It's ready to be born to be a baby. 9 months. And they said, this is the actual size. Wow. His head is almost big as mine. It's so amazing that this drawing is life size, isn't it? Wow. Life size baby. Let's see what's next. So we're going to talk about now fresh food, fresh air. That's what this next part of the book is. Or maybe I should wait until tomorrow. But fresh food, fresh air, growing and staying healthy. Inside the uterus, and a sac filled with warm water surrounds the embryo and then the fetus, and keeps it warm and safe as it grows. The sac is called the amniotic sac. Amniotic. Say amniotic. Amniotic sac. The fetus floats in the warm water. The warm water is called amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid. The sac and the water protect the fetus from pokes and jolts and bumps. Every so often, the fetus drinks some of the warm water it floats in. The water inside the uterus is perfectly healthy for a fetus to drink. While the fetus is inside the uterus, it needs food and air just like we do to grow and to stay healthy. But a fetus cannot eat food the way we do or breathe air on its own. Warm and safe in the uterus, the healthy foods and liquids a pregnant woman eats and drinks, they supply the fetus with good things it needs to grow and stay healthy. And the air she breathes supplies the fetus with the oxygen it needs. The food in air the fetus needs to travel to the food and air the fetus needs travel to a soft, spongy place inside the mother's uterus called the placenta. The fetus is connected to the placenta by a thick, twisty cord called can you guess? The umbilical cord. The umbilical cord. Look at that. It connects here to the baby and here to the mom. See it? It goes all the way around. Like, yeah, look at that. The umbilical cord. Umbilical cord. That's how the baby eats. Your belly button, also called your navel, is the place where the umbilical cord was attached to you when you were growing inside the uterus. Did you know that? Yes. Yes. Let's see what else we have in here. How does a fetus get food and air? How does a fetus get food and air? So the foods a pregnant woman eats and the liquids she drinks, along with the air she breathes, all go into her body. Inside her body, the food and liquids break down and change into very tiny bits. These tiny bits, along with the oxygen that's in the air she breathes, passes into her blood. Her blood travels all around her body. All around her body. 2, in the lungs, the oxygen passes into the mother's blood. In the stomach, The tiny bits of food passes into the mother's blood. The mother's blood then travels to the placenta. Look at that. How amazing is that? In the placenta, the tiny bits of food and air in the mother's blood pass from the mother's blood into the fetus's blood. And then that blood, which is now carrying the food and air, travels through the umbilical cord into the fetus. Isn't that amazing? So the mom eats. See, she eats that. When she eats, it goes down. Somehow gets to the baby, right? Gets to the baby. So the placenta is the fetus's restaurant. The cord's the delivery truck, and it delivers food and air to the fetus. Amazing. One order of fresh air, one fresh food coming up. Hold the pickles and the mustard. They're being funny right here. They're being funny. And I hate to ask, he's being funny. But what do you think the fetus pees and poops inside the mommy? He says, do you think the fetus pees and poops inside the mommy? Oh, gross. I cannot believe you asked that. They're being funny. The bits of food and air the fetus does not need leave through the umbilical cord. So it comes in the umbilical cord and it leaves through the umbilical cord. Some bits of the food and air also leave the fetus's body in a small amount of urine, also called pee, that it makes. The fetus's pee becomes part of the water in the uterus. Usually a fetus does not poop while it's in the uterus. Mine did during labor. Mine decided to poop in me during labor when I was in labor. I'll tell you about that later. Sometimes unhealthy things can pass into a pregnant woman's blood and into the fetus. Cigarette smoke and many kinds of drugs, including alcohol from wine, beer, or liquor. Most pregnant women are very careful about what they eat and drink and what medicines they take. They want to do everything possible to give birth to a healthy baby. This is amazing. And these pictures are awesome. These pictures are amazing too. So stretch, pump, kick, hiccup, burp. Stretch, punch, kick, hiccup, burp. I can't burp on command. I'm sorry, you guys. The growing fetus. While a fetus is growing inside the uterus, it does a lot of things. It can make a fist and punch. Oh, I felt that. I remember. It can kick its feet. It can even do somersaults. It can suck its thumb and fingers, and it can taste, swallow, and blink and open its eyes. It can also stretch and sleep, and it can make noises like hiccups and burps. Wow. Look at this. A fetus can also hear. It can hear the sound of its mother's voice, the sound of her stomach rumbling, the sound of her heart beating, and of her blood pumping through her body. It can hear noises like a doorbell ringing, or a piano being played, or a song being sung. You can do all of these things too when you were growing inside the uterus. Did you know that? So that's why I sang to my baby while she was inside of me. And I sang to my grandbabies while they were inside of my daughter. They recognize your voice. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So let's look at these pictures. Punch. He's punching. He's kicking. Tumbling. Telling you, my daughter had my ribs all sore, all kicking and stuff in there. Man. So, yawn. What was that? Oh my. See them? Oh, baby. Ah, finally asleep. Oh, look at that. She's got two in there. She's got twins. How cool is that? Interesting story, isn't it? Interesting information. I'm glad you guys are listening and love hearing this. So after a woman is about 4 or 5 months pregnant, at times she can feel the uterus or the fetus moving. When a fetus hears a loud sound, or when a bright light or bright sunshine shines on the uterus, a fetus may move suddenly. A pregnant woman can feel when a fetus is moving a lot and when it is quiet and resting. You might like to ask a woman who is pregnant, your mother, or an aunt or a family friend or a friend's mother, if you can put your hand on her belly. When a fetus has grown big enough, you may be able to see and feel the fetus move and stretch its arms and legs, or punch its fists, or kick its feet. Oh, yeah, that's so true. You may also be able to see the shape of the fetus's body, or elbow, or knee, or fist, or foot. And when the fetus moves, sometimes you can see that too. Moving and stretching and kicking and punching don't hurt the mother at all, but she can feel it. Yes, it's amazing. Amazing. Sometimes the doctor or nurse will take a moving computer picture of the fetus while it is inside the uterus. This type of picture is taken to make sure the fetus is growing well and is healthy. It is taken by a special computer, and it is called, do you know what it's called? It's called an ultrasound. If you watch the computer screen, you might see the fetus move its hands and legs, or blink, or suck its thumb, or move around, or even turn over. You might be able to see its heart beating. You might even see if the fetus is male or female. You might be able to see if one fetus or two twins or more are growing inside the uterus. Your family may have a photograph of an ultrasound of you, or your sister, or your brother, or your cousin. How cool is that? How cool is that? Twins. That's why I have my little twins up here. Two. Yeah. You know what twins are? Yes, when two are born. Two are in sharing the same uterus. Twins, triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets. Most of the time when a sperm and an egg meet, the beginning cells of only one baby start to grow. But another amazing thing can happen the moment an egg and sperm meet. Although it does not happen often, the beginning cells of two babies, twins, can start to grow. How do twins begin? So we have two different types of twins. We have identical twins, and then we have fraternal twins. Yes, you didn't know that. Listen now. If an egg that has been fertilized by sperm splits into two, see, it's one egg that splits into two. If it splits into two while it is in the fallopian tube, the beginning cells of two babies, identical twins, can start to grow in the uterus. See, one egg, one sperm, they join, and then they split into two. The beginning cells of identical twins. Then we have fraternal twins. Fraternal twins. So twins can also begin if two eggs happen to be in the fallopian tube at the same time. If those two eggs join with two sperm, the beginning cells of two babies, fraternal twins, can start to grow in the uterus. Look. So two different eggs and two different sperm. They meet here and they meet here. And they grow together in the fallopian tube. That's fraternal. They didn't split. They just all went in. So what's the difference? Check this out. Identical twins. Identical means the same. Identical twins look almost exactly alike and are always the same sex or the same gender. When identical twins are born, they are always either two girls or two boys, one or the other. Identical twins cannot be a boy and a girl because it's one egg that's split, so it's the same. It's got the same. Fraternal twins now. Fraternal twins do not look exactly alike. Well, some do, but in general, they don't. When fraternal twins are born, they are either a boy and a girl, or two boys, or two girls. Can you see? Yes. Triplets. If three eggs and three sperm join together in the fallopian tube, or if a fertilized egg splits into three, the beginning cells of three babies' triplets can start to grow in the uterus. Quadruplets. Quadruplets. Sometimes the beginning cells of four babies, quadruplets, can start to grow in the uterus. Look at the four. And how about quintuplets? Quintuplets. Sometimes the beginning cells of five babies, quintuplets, can start to grow in the uterus. Triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets, like twins, can be identical or fraternal, or they can be a mixture of both. Amazing, right? Amazing. Wow, come out, come out. We're going to talk about giving birth. You guys ready for this one? This will be the last section of the book that I read. Can you believe we're up to the birth page? Come out, wherever you are. Birth. About to give birth. And that's why they say happy birthday. Usually to the mothers, right? Birthday, because the mothers gave birth. But they say happy born day to the kids now. I just say happy birthday. After 9 months inside the uterus, the fetus has grown big enough and strong enough and is ready to be born. Being born can take a long time. Sometimes more than a day, or it can just take just a few hours. Man, that labor, 23 and a half hours for me. Woo, child. Most babies are born in hospitals. Some babies are born at home. People who are specially trained, a doctor or a midwife, and nurses, help the mother while her baby is being born. Fathers and sometimes other family members and friends often help too. My niece had her baby at home in the bathroom. Yeah, that baby boy wanted to come out. He was not playing. He came out at home in the bathroom. Shout out to my niece and my grandnephew. Good job, honey. Okay, look, when a baby is about to be born, the muscles in the mother's uterus begin to squeeze tight. This is called labor. Labor is another word for work. Oh, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Look at that. Baby is ready to be born. A mother's muscles work very hard to push and squeeze the baby out of the uterus and into the vagina. Then the mother's muscles push and squeeze the baby's body through the vagina. The vagina stretches wide as the baby's soft, wet, and slippery body travels through it. It's a tight squeeze, but finally the baby slides out and is born. Oh, yeah. That's where babies come from. The moment of birth is so exciting. The doctor or midwife, or sometimes the baby's father, gently holds the baby as it comes out. That's when most babies let out their first cry. And that's when someone almost always shouts out, "It's a girl!" or "It's a boy!" Even if the parent or parents already knew the sex of the baby before birth. Aw. Look. She's beautiful. So let's see. Whether it is soft or loud, a baby's first cry fills up its lungs with fresh air. This is how a baby takes its first breath and starts breathing on its own. Seconds later, the doctor, or sometimes a midwife or the baby's father, cuts the cord. This is the cord that connected the baby to its mother and gave it food and air. Remember what it was called, you guys? You got it. That's right. You guys are good. The umbilical cord. The cord is cut because the mother no longer needs to eat and breathe for the baby. The cutting does not hurt the baby or the mother. As soon as the cord is cut, or sometimes even before, the baby's parents are usually able to hold, cuddle, kiss, and hug their new baby. It feels so wonderful when a parent can finally hold and look at the new baby. Aww. That is amazing. The tiny piece of cord that is left on the baby's body dries up and falls off after a week or so. The place where the cord was attached becomes a person's navel. It often looks like a button, and that's probably why many people call the navel a belly button. A few minutes later, the placenta and amniotic sac passes out of the mother's body through her vagina. The placenta is no longer needed to help the baby eat and breathe. The sac is no longer needed to hold and protect the baby. Most babies are born head first, some are born feet first, and most are born through the vagina. But if a baby is too big or is in a difficult position in the uterus, like sideways, the doctor makes a cut through the mother's skin and into her uterus. The mother is given some medicine before the cut is made, so she won't feel the pain. Okay? She won't feel the pain. After the cut is made, the baby is lifted out and is born. Then the umbilical cord is cut. The placenta and amniotic sac are lifted out, and the cut in the mother's skin and uterus is sewn with a special thread. This cut heals in a few weeks' time. When a baby is born this way, it is called a cesarean birth or a C-section. A cesarean birth is another perfectly normal and healthy way to be born. Yes. Interesting, isn't it? Some babies are born before they have spent a whole 9 months in the uterus. Babies who are born early are called premature babies or preemies. Preemies often have to stay, like my nephew John was a preemie, but he's like tall now. Couldn't tell he was a preemie, but he was a preemie. Preemies often have to stay in the hospital for some extra time until they learn to suck well. This helps them eat well. They also need to stay until they have gained enough weight to keep their bodies warm enough. While they're in the hospital, preemies usually sleep in a special crib called an incubator. An incubator. See that? The incubator keeps the baby warm and provides fresh air for the baby to breathe as it continues to grow. A preemie's parent or parents spend lots of time in the hospital getting to know their baby. They can touch, hold, kiss, talk to, sing to, and feed their baby. When the baby grows bigger and stronger, its parents or parent can take their baby home. Aww. New babies need to be fed. Milk is the only food they need until they are older. After a baby is born, its mother's breasts begin to make milk. When a baby sucks and drinks milk from its mother's breast, the mother's breasts make more milk. Breast milk contains all the vitamins, the sugars, the fats, the salt, and other things a young baby needs to grow and stay healthy. Sometimes babies are fed breast milk from a bottle, and that's okay. Mothers have to pump it. Breastfeeding. Some babies are fed formula from a bottle. Formula is different from breast milk. Formula is made from cow's milk or soy milk, which is made from the bean of the soybean plant. Vitamins, sugars, fats, salts, and other things are added to help a young baby grow and stay healthy. Babies suck and drink formula through a special nipple that is attached to a bottle. When babies are several months old, they can start to eat other foods, and by their first birthday, most babies can drink cow's milk, just like most other kids or older kids and grown-ups do. Aww. Interesting, isn't it? Being born is one of the most amazing things that ever happened. So I'm going to end that here today. I'm going to end that here. I'm going to show you my doll, the pregnant doll. Pregnant Barbie. That was my daughter's. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. You know it. So this is Barbie. I'm glad I found her. Pregnant Barbie. She had the pregnant tummy. It shows her pregnant. Don't worry, she has on bikini bottom. Pregnant Barbie. And there was a little baby that went inside there, but I can't find it right now, so I'm using this baby. But when she has a baby, boop, she's not pregnant anymore. Boop, she's pregnant again. Amazing, right? Magnetic pregnant Barbie. And once again, I can't find the baby that was in there. I'll try to find it for the next reading about babies. But this is pregnant Barbie. I just wanted to show you guys, and here are my twins here. Wow. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Shout out to my grandbabies, Korea, Sanaa, David the Third, and Caden. I love you guys. I miss you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Wish you were here with me. I wish. Love you guys. Shout out to my mom. My mom, who's always here, show me love and support by being here and commenting. Thank you, Mom. Thanks so much. Mark. My dude, Mark Harold. Please, feel free to come every day. But I thank you. Thank you so much for being here, Mark. That's my dude. I'm gonna call him when I get off of here. Once again, shout out to my cousin Patsy, who's usually here, letting her babies listen to me read. Thank you for that. Thank you to everybody that's here. My girl Sadie, she usually pops into. My girl Michelle Buchanan. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here and showing all this love and support. Thanks again to Elide, to Victoria, and to Sheena G. They always share my videos, and they've helped me get more subscribers. You know, go to YouTube and smack, punch that subscribe button so that I can have lots more subscribers, and then you could be you could be the one to share my videos, and you could be the one to have all these little babies sit down and listen to me read and encourage them to read. I'm hoping that's what this does. But I thank you so much for being here at Audrey's Reading Area. Yes, on this. Yes, Educational Tuesday. Terrific Educational Tuesday. And I will see you again tomorrow, right? Live, Live. I'll be live at 5 tomorrow. I will see you then here at Audrey's Reading Area. See you soon.